My husband passed away fairly suddenly. He had not had any lingering illness. It was a heart attack that was misdiagnosed. He was administered an improper test and passed away shortly thereafter. The result was medical malpractice, and on the advice of a cardiologist, I sought legal counsel. I had two other attorneys, one in Newport Beach and one in downtown Los Angeles, who had come highly recommended to me, but I ultimately chose Dan Powell. I chose Dan Powell for several reasons. First of all, I found him to be personable, and I was very impressed with his knowledge of the human body, of physiology, particularly the heart. I knew that he would have to have a very intimate knowledge of the heart in order to successfully see my case through the court process. And I felt that I was in good hands. One has to ultimately make a decision on this sort of thing, and you realize the importance of the decision. But I felt confident in Dan's capability. And I'm happy to say my confidence was rewarded throughout two trials. It was not easy for Dan pursuing this case. Our first trial ended with a 6-6 jury, and so we had to do it all over again. And this was after numerous delays over which we had no control. But Dan was patient and persistent. He kept me informed of what was going on, but also not unnecessarily. I learned of things pretty much on a need-to-know basis, so it wasn't occupying my mind all the time. I think that Dan brought a special quality to both of these trials because of his pleasant personality, his respect for the defendants, for the jurors, for the judge, for me, and for my children. I believe that he conveyed to the jury that nobody really wants to be pursuing a case like this, particularly against physicians, but it has to be done. And especially in the case of young, very young children, in the case of my husband and me, the futures of these children need to be assured to some degree. And when there's clear culpability in a death, these cases need to be pursued. I'm happy to say that it was a unanimous jury in my second trial, and I feel that I was very well represented by Dan Powell throughout the whole legal process. I have to say, I think even if the case had gone against me and that we had not prevailed, I still can't think of anything that Dan would have done as a misstep. I would have still been satisfied with his performance in court and in preparation of the case. I feel Dan was very thorough and that he chose excellent experts. I feel that they did a good job representing our case in court. He was very respectful of my children as well. There came a day when they had to testify, and in fact they had to do so twice in court, and these are young kids. So he gave them just enough preparation so that they sort of knew what to expect, didn't tell them what to say, didn't tell me what to say, let the truth come out, and we felt very well represented and very at ease in his company throughout the whole process.